Hey guys, Dr. Marchegiani here. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons why you are bloated. I'm going to give you my perspective from a functional medicine window, if you will. Before we do, love to see your comments down below. Please smash the like button and subscribe. All right, so let's dive in. Bloating. It's a common issue that I see with patients coming in. Almost any issue that someone has, there's going to be a digestive component to it. So there's usually going to be an energy issue, a mood issue, maybe a cognitive brain fog issue. But on the digestive side, there's usually a motility, whether either a diarrhea or a constipation, or we'll see a bloat issue along with that. Now, when we see bloating, usually that means we're not breaking food down. There's inflammation in the gut. A lot of times bloating is usually there's hydrogen or methane gas involved, and that can also throw off motility. So it's super easy to see constipation or diarrhea along with bloating. And then, of course, we may see skin issues, we may see mood issues because 80% of the immune system is in the gut. Digestive issues could mean there's other immune issues going on with the gut. If I see patients with thyroid issues, it's almost always a patient that has a thyroid or a hormone issue has a gut issue. And because all the nutrients that we need to run our metabolic systems come through the gut, guess what? If we have a bottleneck in absorbing our minerals, our amino acids, our fatty acids, that can impact other systems in the body. All right, so let's dive in here, guys. So first off, the top 5 reasons why you are bloated. Let's go into them one at a time and make sense of them for you. So food allergies are a big one. So when I say food allergies, that means you're having an immunological reaction to that food. So whether it's IgG or T-cell immune-mediated response, IgE is what most of your conventional doctors will look at. That's usually anaphylactic. So if you say, hey, my doctor said I'm fine, that's usually like the skin prick kind of allergy test when you're looking at dander or ragweed or pollens. But a lot of times you can have immunological reactions that are IgG or even T-cell mediated, and that may not even come back via your conventional allergy testing. So keep that in the back of your head. Now I say food intolerances because a food intolerance means you're having a hard time breaking that food down. So a common one would be, let's say a food allergy would be casein, the major protein in dairy, while a food intolerance could be lactose, the milk sugar in dairy. Some people have a hard time breaking that milk sugar down. They can get diarrhea, they can get bloaty or gassy. So just the inability to break a food down could be a food intolerance. Gluten could fit into that category for intolerance. Soy, beans, lentils, things that have lots of anti-nutrients can fit into the food intolerance category. And the food allergy issue would be immunological things. So if you eat gluten and you stimulate antibodies that attack your thyroid, that could be a immunological issue. Inadequate digestive secretions. This is common. We'll go into why. But if we're not making enough hydrochloric acid, enzymes, or bile, we're going to have problems breaking our food down. Now, the issue with hydrochloric acid, that lowers the pH. Guess what happens when you lower the pH? It makes it harder for microbes to grow in your intestinal tract, bad ones. And so think of like the natural disinfectant, like the white vinegar, wiping down the countertop. It's the acetic acid in the vinegar that lowers the pH that knocks down the microbes. So by just having enough stomach acid, that can knock down bugs in your gut. Enzymes, big deal. Now, most enzymes are pH specific. So you lower the hydrochloric acid, so you increase the hydrochloric acid. That means you lower the pH. More acid means lower pH, right? And then as you lower that pH, guess what happens? You're going to activate more enzymes. Most enzymes are pH driven. And so if you increase the acidity, you increase the enzyme activation. And then, of course, because pH sensitivity has a lot to do with bile support, bile also gets increased as well. Bile is slightly acidic as well. That will have an mild antimicrobial effect, and it will start to emulsify the fats. Think of Dawn soap on a greasy dishpan. It's going to actually break it down, make it easy to absorb your fat-soluble vitamin A, which is so important for thyroid function, D, E, and K, and also your other medium-chain triglycerides or saturated fatty acids or omega-3s, all those good healthy fats. Autonomic nervous system dysfunction. So you have your sympathetic and your parasympathetic parts of your nervous system. Your parasympathetic controls that autonomic nervous system response. That, like your breathing, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your relaxation. Parasympathetic part of your nervous system helps with relaxation. Part of that parasympathetic branch aids in digestion, digestive secretions. And so if we are in a stressed out state and we're activating our sympathetic nervous system, our go, fight or flight nervous system, that's going to knock down our parasympathetic, increase the sympathetic, and that's going to decrease your digestive secretions. So if we have less enzymes, less acids, less bile salt, it's also going to slow down our motility as well. So very important, we have to have our autonomic nervous system, healthy parasympathetic nervous system response. Okay, very important. So if we're stressed, we're inflamed, we're going to bed late, we're over-exercising, under-exercising, that's going to impact our parasympathetic nervous system response. So breathing through the nose, into the nose. Lots of parasympathetic fibers in the nose. Prayer, meditation, getting to bed at a reasonable hour before midnight is ideal. Hydrating, doing things to help provide nutrition to our body, nourishment, not being stressed. That's going to aid in that parasympathetic nervous system response. Microbiome imbalances, this is big. Because when we say microbiome imbalances, that's a big umbrella, right? That could be SIBO or just generalized dysbiosis. That could be H. pylori. That could be fungal overgrowth. That could be different parasites. These are all going to impact our microbiome, the overall balance, the overall milieu of good bacteria to bad. And not to mention if we've knocked down our bad bacteria because we eat lots of, conventional raised produce that has glyphosate residue or pesticide residue, or we, let's say, are overprescribed antibiotics from our conventional MD, or we eat a lot of foods that have pesticides in it, we don't wash it well. These are going to impact our microbiome, and these are going to knock down a lot of the bad bugs. They're going to knock down a lot of the good bugs, thus allowing the bad bugs to proliferate. Also, what if we aren't consuming enough fermentable, probiotic-rich foods? Think sauerkraut, think kimchi, think kombucha, think kefir, think things like that. These are going to have natural beneficial bacteria, and most people, they just aren't eating these foods. They're not really in our culture. People are getting more aware now, but we're missing a lot of probiotics, and we've knocked it down with all the pesticides and with all the antibiotics as well. Not chewing your food enough. This is a big deal. Chewing your food, right? Getting that good chewing. 32 chews per tooth. All right, sorry, 1 chew per tooth. You have 32 teeth, 32 chews. Or eat to it feels like an oatmeal-like consistency. That's going to increase the surface area, so your enzymes and acids are going to work better. The more you chew that food up, the more you increase the surface area. That allows the enzymes and the acid and the bile to work on it and to be able to emulsify and break it down so you can utilize and assimilate all those good nutrients. But you'd be surprised. People don't chew their food up enough. 1, 2, 3, swallow. Not even close. You got to really chew that significantly. About 32 chews. Get it to oatmeal-like consistency. Also, too much hydration. Couple ounces to get some supplements down, not a big deal, especially if it's digestive support. You definitely have a big gain with that. But if you're trying to hydrate, 10, 15 minutes before a meal, really hydrate, get your electrolytes in there, add your sea salt, because again, hydrochloric acid's made from what? Hydrogen and chloride, so we got to add healthy sea salt, which will have sodium and chloride in there, like a Redmond's real salt. It'll have a bunch of other trace minerals, which are really important for your hormones and for your electrolytes and for your sodium, potassium pump. But we got to get the hydration 10, 15 minutes before a meal, 2 hours after. Add your electrolytes in it so you can make stomach acid with it. Zinc's also really important. You need zinc to make stomach acid, so taking a good multi with zinc in it's good. Eating meats and have zinc as well. And taking your enzymes and acids with your meal is great. Couple bites is fine. I don't like it at the end because it can stack up high, but somewhere in that, first couple of bites to middle is totally fine, so it gets sandwiched in there. But again, water's got a pH of 7. Your stomach should be around a pH of 2, 2.5. And so if you add a whole bunch of 7 and you're 2.5, you're moving that pH closer to the midline, which is going to be more to neutral, away from acidity, away from that acidic pH, which is so important for activating your enzymes and acids. So really important here out of the gate, guys. These are the big 5 things you want to look at. There could be other variations here. There can be pelvic floor dysfunction is one. Again, if you increase inflammation in your gut, you can send a viscerosomatic reflux to the nerves in and around those lower abdominals and pubococcygeal muscles that can weaken those muscles because of inflammation in the intestines. So be careful on that. You get the inflammation down in the intestines and then the colon area, that's going to impact nerves around it. We know this. If you have gallbladder issues, what do you have? Shoulder pain. If you have a heart attack, what do you have? Right jaw pain, right arm pain. If you have appendicitis, right lower hip pain, right? So these are all common issues that we know we have a physical manifestation too. So keep these in the back of your head, guys. And if you want to dive in deeper, if you need more support on the functional medicine side, we'll put links down below where you can reach out to my team and staff. We see patients worldwide on the functional medicine side. If you want to dive in deep and get to the root cause of why your health issues are happening, that's what that is for. Link down below. All right, guys, if you enjoyed, thumbs up, comments down below, and subscribe. Take care, y'all. Bye.